Okay, let's go back to solfege for a second. You remember solfege? That is this thing. Let me do it with quarter notes. I'm just going to write a scale for us here. Oh, come on. Okay, so there's a scale. So you remember that when we have solfege, we have syllables that go along with each note. Now, I know there's been a lot of debate about this in earlier classes in how this works with the different syllables in the different languages. Okay, so let me just clarify two things that I know to be truths. One is that there are two different there are two different systems of solfege. One is called fixed do and one is called movable do. What I'm teaching is movable do. This is what is most popularly used in the United States, however, is not popularly used in many other countries. Fixed do means whatever tonic is do. We call do. So if we're in the key of E flat, then E flat we would call do. Okay? In many other places, they use fixed do. So fixed do means that C is always do. In fact, you wouldn't even call the note C. You would just call it do, right? So this would be do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I would say this is C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And if you ask me to say that in solfege, I would say do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Anyway, the second thing that is a truth is the seventh. In the US, we call this T, T-E, T, do. But in many other countries, you use something different for the seventh. You should use whatever's normal to you, okay? The reason I'm bringing all of this up now is because we've introduced some chromatic tones, right? We've introduced a flat 3, a flat 6, and a flat 7th. And we should have a way to deal with that in solfege. So if we're in a major key and this is do, this is re, this is no longer mi because that doesn't work, right? We would say may. So do, re, may. May is flat mi. So if you're following along, do, re, mi is C, D, E, or the first three notes of a scale. If it's flat, you would not call it mi, you would call it may. Okay? Fa, sol, la is 6, but if it's flat, we would call it le. So la becomes le. T, for me, is the 7th. T, if it's flat, we would call it te. So do, re, me, fa, sol, le, te, do. So, now that we have some chromatic tones, you should know what those are. Now there is a chromatic way to go through the entire chromatic scale with solfege, and we'll get to that eventually. But for now, you should know that those exist. Okay. If that just confused you more than anything else, then just ignore it. This is not a crucial thing to understanding what we're doing going forward. It's just something I wanted to point out because it's good to know.